Hey everyone, welcome back to Eye Opener Society. My name is Gary Dean, and Lizzie has the day off today. So I'm just doing this episode solo, and I wanted to express my absolute appreciation to everybody that's been standing by, waiting for us to gather everything and put everything together, whether it be through this show or through the church. I know people probably have millions of questions, but we are extremely excited for everything that is happening. And moving forward, we have our new website, and that link is going to be down the synopsis. It's a little bit of a longer website. That's why I don't really recall it, but it's through Wix. And I want to give Wix a big shout out because it's amazing how I could put together an entire website with everything that I need in it for absolutely free. So I enjoyed building the site, and it's a work in progress. It always will be. As the church grows, so will the website. So if you're looking at it and you're probably thinking, yeah, it's missing like the staff pages, the about pages, and stuff like that, it's going to be built, and it takes some time because there's a lot of work that goes on, with these things. But it is there, and I hope everybody uses it. We're gonna put up our any events that come up, or any information, anything that changes, all of our social media, all of our friends and associates. Again, that'll all start to come together, and we'll put it all together on that website. As it builds, you will see us build along with it, and I hope everybody can be a part of this in some way. That's one of our biggest goals, and we'll discuss that once things are back on track. So, again, in Lizzie's absence, we've been busy with like our own lives on top of the church and this show. And because of that, it's just we're looking for space, and not space in a physical sense, but space in a mental way. See, Lizzie taught me that when we hit the brakes and we pause, that pause is when things expand. And I think this is a valuable lesson that we should all learn. We could run ourselves ragged every single day, and we try to do everything, which is great. It's great to have that sort of motivation where we just move forward and we want to get things done, and we want to get them done right, and we pour our hearts, our souls, and our energies into these things. That's fantastic. But you see, when we do it all and we're trying to get it done, and if we have these type A personalities, or maybe we don't, and maybe we don't have that sort of aggression, things can get kind of messy because we're tripping over ourselves trying to do things completely right, but we're doing them either A, too fast, or we're trying to do too much all at once. And so Lizzie had taught me, when we take these breaks and we take these moments, that creates a brand new space. The space opens up more because we don't have the the conflict of doing all of these things. So when we stop and we take a moment and we remove all the things that we were trying to get done, now it's kind of like a clean slate, and things start to open up. They open up more creatively, and it allows your mind to start saying, okay, well, now I could start doing something else. Maybe this is a better idea. And all of that rest that you're taking builds this creativity. And then we could move forward when we're ready and take these newfound thoughts and ideas and starting to apply them with the things that we're trying to get done. While we're in this space of relaxation, everything opens up. It becomes a wide open field. And that wide open field encompasses us and the direction that we want to go in. And it's wild because when Lizzie was explaining this, I was able to actually take that moment and I meditated and I said, okay, I'm not going to worry about the church. I'm not going to worry about the show. I'm just going to be for a while. And then there was a lot more clarity and focus because I removed those thoughts that were occupying all of my time, and as important as they are, and I don't want to forget them, it still worked out beautifully because I was able to start seeing new things. And I had new ideas that came in. And creating the website was one of them. And I said, that's a great thing I need to do. And I sat down and I started to do that. And it took away from all the other things that I was doing, but it gave me more creative control for doing all this stuff that I'm doing. It's easy. I mean, it's a little bit harder to explain sometimes, but honestly, if you take all of the chaos that's going on, right? Because you want to get something done and you're trying to get it moving forward. Sometimes it's not going to get forward because you're pushing it too hard and things could collapse. It's kind of like a shopping cart that's just so overflowed because you got everything in it and you're pushing it fast. And then all the stuff that you put into it is starting to fall out and it's going all over the place. And you got to stop and pick it up and redo it. The moment you stop and you just put that shopping cart off to the side and you just start looking around at all the other things that are in the grocery store, you start to say, hey, this is another direction I want to go in. Oh, I like this brand better than this brand. That's the concept of what goes on when you take that moment to stop and rest. You also start to pick up on things that you might have forgotten about because you've been so overwhelmed thinking about doing the things you wanted to do. And that is why we need to rest. Rest is a creative space. And your creative space will grow the longer that you rest. There's never a time limit, honestly. If you feel you need to get back because you had enough rest and you found, new creativity, it's great. You can move on. But if you haven't found it and you feel, hey, I'm going to take a whole year off, take a year off. It's fine. Rest is wonderful. Sleep as well. You sleep on things, you dream about things. And if you're too busy worrying about what you got going on, those dreams then become complex. They become more anxiety driven rather than just creative dreams. So let's all remember that we have goals that we want to set. We want to do things right, but we're not always able to do them right, or they don't come out the way that we planned them to because we just moved way too fast. So what we need really in the long run is to have these moments where we can stop, kind of smell the roses, I like to smell the wide open fields because there's so much more energy and you get so much more excitement and you start to build up a new found excitement to move forward. But you're moving forward in this big empty field and you start planting more seeds and more flowers and new trees. And that starts to expand yourself. It expands your mind. It expands your ideas, your thoughts. And it will guide you throughout your future because sometimes during that rest period, you might actually change to a new direction. You might want to try something else rather than the direction you were going in because you have these moments of clarity and you have these moments where you see things from a period of rest rather than a period of work. These are the things that Lizzie explained to me, and I just took it and I expanded it a little bit more. And the fact that these things actually do work, that's what I wanted to express to you because you may be in that moment where you are really, so wound up tight because you're trying to get all these things done. And all of these things that you're thinking about are probably beautiful. But if we're painting too fast and the brush strokes start to, bleed, or you put too much paint on there and it starts to drip, that's because you're rushing. That's because you're trying to get things, done too fast. Stop and just look at the canvas. Study what you already have there and just wait. Don't make it a priority now to move forward and keep painting over that. What you're doing is taking a break, resting, and you're going to look at that painting and you're going to see things that you haven't noticed before. And you're going to see the creativity that you have. And then you're saying, I might want to add this color. This color contrasts better with that, or this matches the mood much better. And then you start to build from there. Once you get out of that break period and you start moving forward, you're moving forward at a slower pace, but you have so many more brilliant ideas that are going on. And that is the power of creativity. That is the power of the human mind when we can actually stop, live in a moment, and rest. So, my dear friends, my dear audience, everybody out there, it's time for you to rest as well. And again, that rest could be a couple minutes, that rest could be a couple of years. You do what feels right. Before the new year, I had spoken about how I made some changes where I was listening to myself more, listening more to my intuition. And I was only going to do what felt right at the time. And I have not strayed from that. But I was reminded by a dear friend, Lizzie, that you do need to rest. And maybe I wasn't listening to that. Maybe because my body was telling me and my mind was telling me, yes, let's keep moving forward because I have so much wonderful things and I want to get them done. So what that did was drown out the fact that I probably needed to take a break for a little while so I can expand on everything that I got going on. So, Lizzie, you have the day off, but I thank you so much for that. That's great wisdom, and that's something that I'm going to always remember now. And I'm hoping you, the audience, have a little takeaway with this, and we could build on our own dreams, all of us together. That's the purpose. That's the purpose for us here at Eye Opener Society, for the church. Once it starts going, and once you start coming into this church, once it's ready, and you start listening to us, the things we're going to teach you, it's not about religion, it's about us. And it's about how we can control our destinies, how we can see things in a much different perspective, higher awakening. We're very excited about this. But again, it's going to take some time because we have some thoughts and ideas, and I have some things in my own personal life that need to be taken care of first as well. And once those things are taken care of, I can move forward. And one of the big things right now is just the legalities of the church. It's very easy for me to form the LLC and all, but I want to make sure it's done correctly because this is going to be a worldwide church. I don't want it to be referenced just in one area where I live. Lizzie lives, I think like 3,000 miles away from me. But that space in between is also the church. The space outside of that, outside of the country, into other countries, that's all the church. And it's all of us. So again, we're not going to limit ourselves to just one area. And that's what I'm looking into. And that's why I'm taking a break. And I'm still working on everything, but it's going in a different pace and more ideas are coming forward. And speaking of other countries, listen, for everybody else that's listening outside of the United States, we welcome you and we thank you so much for tuning in because it's amazing when we have an audience that's so diverse. That's wonderful. That diversity really brings in so much more ideas and understanding of people and life. And we appreciate you here at Eye Opener Society. We appreciate everybody that tunes in, but we certainly appreciate everybody that's listening from other countries. And we're going to, give you something real soon to be a part of. And you're not going to listen just to us, you're going to listen to others, and you're going to hear from your own self too. I want to hear about everybody. And that's going to be the purpose of this church that we are starting. So we're looking forward to it. And I can't thank everybody enough for tuning in. Everybody that does tune in, the people that have been with us for a long time. Don't forget, share us. Don't keep us all to yourself. If you feel that you know somebody that could benefit from us or would like our show or like the idea of our spiritual church, spread the word, okay? Like I said in the synopsis, I'm going to have the brand new website, spread that around. Don't forget, too, we got a Facebook page as well. You can follow us there at, Eye Opener Society. Just search Eye Opener Society on Facebook. Join us, follow us. That's great. I'm on TikTok under Eye Opener Society. You could find Lizzie Energy dot by dot Lizzie, and that's Lizzie. You find her on TikTok as well. I'll have that all down in the synopsis. We're also on YouTube, but the other thing, BitChute. And again, those of you that are tuning in on BitChute, I can't thank you enough. We got so many more listens on BitChute than we got on any other platform, and that's amazing. And I thank you so much. I want to thank everybody that tunes in, downloads, and listens. We love you all here, and we will see you on the next episode, and we'll have Lizzie back, and we could talk about so much more. Don't forget about our Wednesday night guided meditation series as well, and my solo episodes that are also on Saturday mornings, and hopefully Thursdays we're going to start getting some kind of sermon nights, but they're going to be fun. They're not going to be like religious sermons where we're forcing things down your throat. We're going to talk about some really cool things, and we got some great episode ideas, so stay tuned every week, every Monday. We'll see you soon.